last September, I got married. Full of surprises this video is. A couple days ago, a wedding website called Green Wedding Shoes featured my wedding. Since that original post went up on Tuesday, it has been gaining traction and other websites have featured it. Josh and I, my husband, we have been overwhelmed by all the positive and kind responses. If you guys haven't seen any of these posts that I'm talking about, I'll be sure to put all the links in the description box below. I've been getting some questions about the wedding, so I figured I would share some of them with you guys. The first question I've been getting is, who were those stormtroopers? We were incredibly lucky to have our friends Michael Bender and Mark Edwards of the 501st Legion grace us with their presence. It was such a treat, so kind of them. For those of you guys that don't know, the 501st Legion is not just a costuming organization that unites passionate fans. They also do volunteer charity work all around the world. Someone also asked, what did your family think of the Star Wars theme? When Josh and I first got engaged last February, the first thing my mother said was, "You're not gonna have a bunch of Star Wars stuff, are you?" In the end, she loved it. Another question is, what are some of your favorite Star Wars details of the day? I mean, I love them all, but if I had to choose, I would definitely say the Stormtrooper belt that I made and wore to the reception, which actually ended up costing like less than $10 to make. Another detail I loved is this Millennium Falcon that I made. And the floral sculpture was supposed to represent the clouds of Cloud City, so that this Millennium Falcon would be flying through the clouds. I really wanted a Millennium Falcon for our cake, but we decided to keep things a little bit more subtle. We actually went to the woman who made this Millennium Falcon cake. Her name is Kimberly Bailey, and she owns the Butter End Cakery in Santa Monica, California. And when Josh and I went to her with this vision that I had of having like a Hoth wedding cake, she immediately knew what to do. When we saw the Tauntaun and Wampa cake topper, we freaked out. It was just beyond anything that we could have imagined. I mean, the Tauntaun has a freaking veil. Come on now. And I decided, of course, to repurpose it into a glass cloche and kind of create a little winter wonderland love scene for the two Hoth creatures. But my favorite human Star Wars detail of the wedding were, of course, the stormtroopers and my little cousins, who were my Princess Leia flower girls. And the final question I've been asked is, what advice would you give to brides or grooms out there who want to incorporate a theme into their wedding? There's a ton of ways that you can subtly incorporate your fandom into your wedding. Another fun thing is to have little surprises and little touches. I actually put tiny little Micro Machine Ewoks in each of the terrariums, and some people saw it and some people didn't, but it was just a fun little detail that I enjoyed. My final piece of advice is, it's really easy to get caught up in all the details and minutia of planning a wedding, but no one is going to remember what kind of flatware you had. That's not the point of a wedding. You and your guests are going to remember the feeling of the day. That's what matters. And so put that first and just have fun with it. A shout out to our photographer, Kaka Santoro, who took our beautiful wedding photos. She was also a lot of fun to work with and totally got our Star Wars vibe, which we appreciated. And thank you to all of you guys who have supported my channel and who continue to watch all these videos. That's the reason why I was kind of absent last year. I was building the Death Star, aka planning a wedding. I will be back next week with a brand new video, so be sure to subscribe if you like geekery and pop culture, crafts. Sometimes I stalk J.J. Abrams, you know, all in a day's work of YouTubing.
One couple couldn't wait to awaken the Force. Their wedding this past fall took inspiration from a galaxy far, far away.